I would like to pose a question to you tonight. Do you believe that it is wrong for a company, a media company, to fire a commentator because a particular commentator said something that that company does not agree with? Tonight, I'm going to speak to you about something that initially I wasn't going to talk about at all because I am not interested in he said, she said BS. I believe that too many people in too many areas of life love drama and gossip, and in particularly in the right-wing political movement, especially on Twitter or X, the platform formerly known as Twitter. A lot of people seem to love juicy gossip, and they love the back and forth. But Candace Owens was obviously let go from the Daily Wire. Some people say it's because she said things that were anti-Semitic. Some people say it's because she criticized Israel when it comes to their war with Palestine. I don't really care why she was fired. I have no dog in that fight. But I do believe that it is important to point out some inconsistencies with Ben Shapiro. Now, I have nothing against Ben Shapiro either. I am neither Team Candace or Team Ben. As a matter of fact, I think that this is silly that people would spend so much time talking about Candace Owens and the Daily Wire's decision to part ways. Business decisions like this happen all the time. But I do believe it is important to address some inconsistencies here with Ben Shapiro. I want to play for you a hodgepodge of segments with Ben in which he talks about that people should not be fired or be threatened to lose their job from a media company for expressing their genuine opinions. And then I want to play for you segments. What's going to come up next are segments in which he talks about the letting go of Candace Owens. Watch this.
Literally tens of millions of people in the United States who are afraid that the cancel culture is coming for them. And cancel culture does exist. Okay, so what this results in very, very often is corporations looking to cram down a particular viewpoint on you and then cancel you. When it comes to the hosts on the Daily Wire, obviously everyone is able to say what they want. But the reality is that there is an Overton window at the Daily Wire. There are polls out there that show that a vast majority of Americans in every single political group, including liberals, feel like they cannot say what they want to say in public because they're afraid that they are going to be canceled, fired, cast out from polite society. This actually happened to a socialist moron named Nathan Robinson. He got canceled from The Guardian. And he said he got canceled from The Guardian because he had put up some anti-Israel tweets. Okay, now I think he's an idiot. I think that his views on Israel are abhorrent. But I don't think that he should lose his columnist slot over at The Guardian. That's a different story, obviously, when it comes to any publisher. Any publisher gets to make decisions about what it wishes to purvey and not. He certainly would not defend anybody on the other side who got canceled. In fact, he has repeatedly said cancel culture does not exist. Okay, it does exist. The fact that there are people out there who want you to lose your job for the sin of saying things they don't agree with is extraordinarily real, and it is happening on a moment-by-moment basis. You know, the Daily Wire is a publisher, not a platform. Publishers obviously have to decide what sort of things they wish to pay for the publication of, and when it comes to hosts and publishers, parting ways, obviously there'll be a non-meeting of the minds. That's pretty much all I can say on that. Mm-hmm. Obviously, there was a non-meeting of the minds. That's pretty much all I can say on this. We have literally tens of millions of people.
Now, I do believe it is a bad business decision that the Daily Wire made in firing Candace Owens. Regardless of what you think about Candace Owens' politics, she has a huge following. If you like Candace, she's going to be fine. I also think that the Daily Wire, at the end of the day, will probably be fine, but it was a stupid business decision. And it is also inconsistent with what Ben said here. Which is it, Ben? Are you going to fire someone because they say things you disagree with? Or should a person not be canceled and be allowed to speak freely? Companies, my friends, do not have an obligation, by the way, to abide by the First Amendment. The First Amendment limits that government can censor speech, not companies, even if they are conservative media companies. However, people on the right, people who honor free speech, should honor the spirit of the First Amendment. They should not be censoring people. I'm not saying that they can't, but they shouldn't. And for Ben to point out that the socialist journalist that he was talking about in the clip I played for you was fired from The Guardian for having opposing opinions to what The Guardian had said, it is very hypocritical to say, well, there's an Overton window and there are things that you can get away with at the Daily Wire and things that you can't. And if you cross that line, which seems to be criticizing the nation state of Israel. Now, I don't really care what side of the fence you land on when it comes to U.S. foreign policy as it relates to Israel. But it is wrong to say that we believe in free speech and we're not going to cancel you. We're not going to terminate your contract just because you agree or disagree with the bigwigs at a particular company, and then fire someone because they start to criticize Israel. And that seems to be what Candace Owens is suggesting, that she was fired because she started criticizing Israel's international policy, and also because of her faith. She did say that co-host Andrew Klavan was going out and smearing her because she said Christ is the king. Now, I don't have a dog in that fight. Like I said, I think Candace is fine. I don't want to speak to anyone's character. I don't know these people. But it is wrong to say that you believe that someone should not be canceled for having a differing opinion than you, and then to turn around and fire them because it has to deal with international politics, which Ben Shapiro seems to be very passionate about. And mind you, I understand why he is. Of course, he's going to be passionate about the fact that he believes that America should stand by the nation state of Israel. He's an Orthodox Jew. I wouldn't expect anything else. I would also expect him to have differences of opinion with Candace Owens and people like myself who are Christians. He's an Orthodox Jew. Again, he's not going to believe in the divinity of Christ. If he did, he would be a Messianic Jew, not an Orthodox. But it is wrong to cancel someone and to terminate your contract, I believe, and then say someone else should not be canceled for having a differing opinion. Ben Shapiro and the people at the Daily Wire just need to practice what they preach here. I'm not smearing anyone at the Daily Wire. I just believe that it's inconsistent. Like I said, they're within their rights to fire someone or to terminate them for having an opposing opinion, even if you believe it's wrong, which I do. But you need to practice what you preach. Firing someone for a differing opinion, which you are completely within your rights to do as a private company, But it's not consistent to come out and say that you believe someone else shouldn't do it and then you do it because it has something to do with the nation state of Israel or a difference in religion. I believe that people on the right, be they conservative or libertarian, should honor the spirit of the First Amendment, even in their private business contracts. I believe that's part of being American. Again, the First Amendment limits what the government can censor, but I do believe as Americans we should honor the spirit of the First Amendment, even in our private business dealings. Now, it baffles me that people on the right are so caught up in this, that someone is Team Candace or Team Ben, or people get caught up in the personal lives of someone, say, Steven Crowder. We have people in our government who target our children, who grow the size and scope of the federal government every single day, who want to poison us in our foods, poison our minds, censor our speech, spy on us, continue spending money. Our national debt is so astronomical, I don't believe the average mind could even attempt to comprehend it. Why are we fighting amongst ourselves? Why are average Americans even giving a damn so much about what goes on at the Daily Wire? If you don't like it, stop spending money there. Go support another company. There are plenty. I think that we should find unity. Business dealings end all the time. And if you don't like it as a consumer, let your dollars speak. Let your conscience dictate where you spend your money. That's the best thing we can do. If you don't like what the Daily Wire did, don't spend your money there anymore. If you like what Candace Owens has to say, go support her financially. If you don't like what she has to say, tune her out. That's how it works in a capitalist free market society. But this he said, she said drama has got to stop. We need to find commonality and unity here. There are much bigger fish to fry. And that's pretty much all I've got to say about that. I am tired of people gossiping and feeling the need to center their lives around things that don't really affect any of us other than the people involved. Why do you care so much? There are people who want to control your daily life. That's what you should be concerned about. And people who believe in limited government should be standing together. If you stand together, you can't be defeated. But the enemies of liberty in this country, they wring their hands when we're distracted, when we get involved in gossip, and when we take away from the things that really matter. I am sure that there are plenty of people in this country who agree with me. I'm tired of the high school bullshit. Grow up, focus on the things that matter, be good men and women, love God, love your neighbor, and fight against things the best you know how. Vote with your dollars when it comes to the media you consume. If you agree with me, please subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to build something important here, and I promise that I will always be honest with you. You may not always like what I have to say, but I can promise you it will always be authentic, Caleb. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video.